Fun. Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Cody Cox here with Bridge City Factors. And I was thinking, I have a good realtor friend of mine that uses a phrase that I find fascinating, find it very interesting. And, when you really think about it, it makes sense. And that phrase is money goes where it's treated best. And I find that interesting because one of the things is when money comes into our lives, it typically has an assignment because it just doesn't go. Money just doesn't go on its own somewhere. Now, of course, you've got it set up on an ACH and auto deposit, but you still had to direct that money where it's supposed to go. Paychecks has an assignment, our savings has an assignment, even our investments have an assignment. So one of the questions I ask myself is, what's the next assignment for my money? Because one thing I like to be good about with my money is to steward it to where it's supposed to go. And again, as a fund manager, my job is to steward your money where it's supposed to go to where it's treated best. So let me give you an example of what I've got going on in my life right now, a real example. And that is, in one of my self-directed IRAs, I have purchased a promissory note and a mortgage secured by residential real estate. Now, I bought the note at a pretty good discount, and because of the discount, it's paying me a 16% yield. That's right, 16% yield on my money. What you note investing on an active basis is not unusual in a lot of ways, especially if it's a distressed asset. This one is not distressed, it's paying every month. But again, it's paying me 16%. That money goes right into one of my bank accounts. And then what I do with that money is I take that money and I invest it in a passive investing fund that I know of, that I'm associated with, and they're paying me 10 or 11% return on that money. So what I've done is I've layered my investment. I'm really excited. I really like layering my investment returns, taking the same money and making them work at least twice. So in that scenario, I get 16% off my first payment and then another, we'll say 10% off the next investment. So that same money is paying me 26%. So I've given that money an assignment. This money has two assignments, so it goes to two different places. So I find that money does like to work like that. It just needs my direction. So that's, to me, why passive investing makes sense. And so you, as an accredited investor out there, has your money working on an active basis. Yet there's another way to make another additional return on that same money on a passive basis. And that's what we offer at Bridge City Factors with one of our funds. And so again, all these returns are very possible with known investing, and it becomes my role as your guide to make sure we steward your money to where it's going, where it is treated best. And that's really all I have today. I've just been thinking about that a little bit, and hopefully you think about it a little bit. I will let you know today that our private placement memorandum is getting very, very close to being completed. We just have a couple little polish items that we're putting on it, and then we'll be able to bring it out to the public. If you have interest in talking further about investing on a passive basis in our note fund, I'm more than happy to talk to you. Shoot me a note on this or give me an email at cody@bridgecityfactors.com. Thanks a lot and happy investing.